snacks.
What is cracking on, everybody? How are y'all doing? You got Sin here along with Jokes. How you doing, sir?
Yo, what's good?
Good, man. Gage couldn't make it this evening. Unfortunately, schedule just didn't work that way this week. So me and Joke's going to hold down cutscenes for you all this week to talk about what's going on in video games that you might have missed of. And because cutscenes are...
By myself, the best part of the game.
Hey, my guy. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so got some things lined up for us to discuss within this hour. So I want to start off with you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You've had the PS5 for a little minute now, correct?
Yes, I have.
You have. I want to get an update from you on how it's going. What's up, Ryan?
What's good, Ryan?
Since you're new to the PS5, you had some time to sit with it for a while,
so far so good. The biggest thing going from the PS4 to this that I really like overall is the interface. The interface is so much cleaner and easier to use than what it was in the past.
Okay.
At the top of the screen, it just breaks things down pretty soon. So it's games and media.
Anthony, you can blame it on that gentleman right there.
Hey, I made it here. But we had to do the 30-second countdown. So 30-second countdown pushed us over. I was in. But
continue, sir.
But yeah, just the interface alone already is making things pretty smooth for it. Just breaking it down by games and media versus when on the PS4 that the bar is just literally everything just in one single spot. Just some of those small things really. Performance, it is quick. I will say it does to an extent the same thing like with the quick resume feature, like what the Xbox does, but it ain't quick resume.
What up, Heather?
It ain't quick resume. Like sometimes it will do the games, but then sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know if there's something to experience. When the other piece, actually, let me rewind as well too, is until tonight, I really haven't played a PS5 game specifically on there. Everything that I've played on it so far has been just PS4 or PS4 with the enhancements to it. Tonight I'm actually going to play Call of Duty. So if y'all aren't aware, I won my PS5.
Yes, you did.
Craziness. Did I expect it? From Mountain Dew. And 2 days ago, I got another email from him and I won Call of Duty. So I'm going to be buying Mountain Dew forever now. They keep this
up. Already told you have the best luck I've seen with anybody.
So I uploaded Call of Duty. I haven't gotten a chance to touch it, but I'm really eager to play and use with the haptic feedback. I will definitely say with the haptic feedback, I played Astro's Playroom, which is pretty clean. Like just for a game to kind of give you the experience of what the haptic feedback feels like and what it can do.
We said the same thing,
Tony. I actually have Powerball and Mega Millions cards downstairs that I got to fill out and take to the machine and actually do it. So
what up, Marcus?
If I can get that, it's going to be loading snacks will be an actual thing, and we're all going to run it, and we'll probably have others that'll do this for us, probably all for it. But otherwise, so far, so good. The PlayStation 5. Like most of the games, obviously, we all play on the box. But now, having access to the PS5, I'll be able to play some of those exclusive. Like, I'm actually going to go ahead and probably tonight finally download Miles Morales because it went on sale for the physical one. And you know me, normally I don't care. And if it's on sale, I'm going to grab it. I held off because I was like, I don't know if I want a disc. So it's on sale now on the PlayStation Store. So I'm going to go ahead and cop that. So that will, between that and Call of Duty, that will be like the actual PS5 games outside like Astro's Playroom that I will actually get to play. But so far, the only negative thing I will say, the battery life on the controller is garbage.
Oof.
Now,
like garbage is a strong word. Like how
so
bad?
I'll give you a comparison. So on Xbox, obviously, I have a normal Xbox controller and I got the Elite controller. I cannot charge that Elite controller for days. and eventually it'll finally pop on screen. Oh yeah, your battery's getting low.
Mm-hmm.
After like one session of a fully charged PS5 controller, I have to charge it. Now I don't know if this is because like I'm playing consistently, but I play consistently on the Xbox controller as well too. But yeah, I'm charging that every other day probably, just after a session. And I will say playing Persona 5, like that right now, that's the PlayStation game that I've been putting some time into. I'm charging it after almost every session. And I'm guessing maybe the haptic feedback, but I mean, I'm not even using it within these games.
Well, according to Marcus, it might be your settings.
Hey, it could be. I mean, the only thing, like, but the games that I'm playing right now don't even utilize the haptic feedback. So I'm not even using that extraness of it. Same thing, the built-in microphone. I haven't had to use that. I've only used that in Astral's Playroom. That's it. But I'll go into the settings and do a little tweaks. But as of right now, that's my only complaint is the battery life on the controller. But otherwise, clean overall interface and the way it works. It does. So I don't know if I've missed this update. Obviously, I haven't had the PS5 that long, but it actually says in the settings you can actually hook an external hard drive to it and actually install your games on there. But it seems as though you have to install it on the internal drive and then transfer it. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't experimented with it just yet, but it was actually going to allow me to put games on the external. Now, it wasn't specific on saying only PS4 games because you need the speed of the hard drive for the PS5 games or whatever. But I'm going to try that because Call of Duty by itself, damn it, is like 200 gigs, and the PS5's hard drive is what does it start 800 and some odd. So that's already 30% gone pretty much just off of that. But otherwise, clean.
Okay. I'm definitely looking forward to hear what you got to say next week after using the haptic feedback with Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Something more like you'll really get into and all that kind of stuff to really, really break it in. So I'm looking forward to that. So moving on, have you had a chance to play the tuner update in Grand Theft? You had a chance.
I got into it and I literally just started. Like I had to drive to the place. I was all the way out of my sub. So yeah, so that was a little bit of a drive, but I haven't actually gotten to really jump into it just yet.
Yeah, I've been into
you
it.
have though.
Oh, definitely. I've been into it for the past 2 days, trying to figure it out, learn it. So far, I'm really liking it. For those who may not know, but the new update for Grand Theft Auto 5 is kind of based just all around car culture. So pretty much every scene in every Fast and Furious movie with the car meetups.
Precise.
Yes, I am. You ain't sent me no invite, Tony.
Deny him my invite.
But yeah, thank you for putting it on the screen. But no, you have this a social hub space now. No guns allowed. You pull up, you drive in. It costs $50,000 to technically like join the club when you talk to the person.
I got that.
Yeah, that you join in, do races, participate in it. There's a place to buy some clothes there. When you're walking around, there's a guy doing tattoos. It's a place to get your car worked on. They even have like a car you can win every week. That's kind of set up like their podium car. In order to win that, you have to win 3 races, come in the top 3 for 3 days in a row, as far as the races go. So there's some finagling I want to try to do to see if I can find a quote-unquote cheat to get around that. I got to test with some other people. But outside of that, you can buy a garage now and get like people can bring cars there, get service. Not we can't do it with each other's cars, but like your contact will call you, but hey, somebody brought a car into the shop. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what you can do with it. They tell you like, I want these type of wheels, I want this type of hood on it. It's all free for you, so it doesn't cost anything. You just go in, switch it to what they need, and then you can pick. You can pick to deliver it yourself, and is what you expect. You deliver a car, don't bang it up. And you can, you know what I'm saying, make the money for it. Or if you spent the money, you can have people you hired deliver the car for you so you don't got to worry about it.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. Also in the garage, they have a chalkboard with these exotic cars on it that they want you to find and deliver to the docks. And I've delivered 2 right now. They cross off my list. So I'm wondering what you get for finding all of them and turning those in. But the biggest and most important thing that's cool with the garage, you get to do those Fast and Furious type of unbelievable missions. They give you like 3 a day, and it's just like a heist. You go over to the heist board, and it has 3 contracts on there, and they rotate every day to different ones.
Okay.
And I think you can only, like, once you do those 3, you can't do any more that day until it resets.
Okay.
You do the next 3 that come there. So I picked one where they want you to kill these 7 dudes in prison. Yes. So it was broken up into 3 missions. I got like 170 some odd grand for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Each is around there, about 180, 170. But first I had to take this dude to go kill somebody and then drop him off in the police station. Next, because he's gonna go into jail. He's gonna get locked up and identify the targets I'm looking for from the jail. Then I had to go steal an 18-wheeler. Yeah, had to go steal an 18-wheeler so they could set that up as a ramp. And the actual mission, you got this fast tricked out car. You hit the ramp, go into the prison. That's automatic 4 stars. Have to kill all 7 dudes while you're in there. You have to drive around, find them, kill all of them. While you're doing that, your boy that went in there to mark them is getting taken out in a prison bus. So now you have to get out of the prison.
Okay, we gonna rescue you like Don. We about to come.
Yes, and you have to get him off the prison bus and escape with him to complete the whole thing. Like, it was fun.
Oh, that's cool. That's original. I mean, I guess somebody watched the Fast and Furious movies.
Yes, that's what I wanted, and that's what I'm getting. But no, so far I really am enjoying it. I'm trying to hit level 20. I think you might be able to get your own. They have an option at the social place for takeover, but you got to be reputation level 20 to do it. I'm like reputation 4. So
it's its own separate like system. Like, I guess obviously you have your level, but it I guess that doesn't really matter within the.
No, it's just car club related.
I'm good with that then, because that way I can catch up to you. Because right now, level wise, my regular character, I'm nowhere close to you or Gage.
Well, that's because you don't play with us.
I don't play Grand Theft like that. And the problem is I know if I get in and start playing it, I am not going to want to get out. I know Gage did that at one point, but it's like
we all have gone through it.
And I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. But I like. This is probably the one thing that's going to pull me back into Grand Theft. Like, obviously the heists are cool and all that you can get into, but I feel like this is a little bit different. Like, I've been waiting for like Need for Speed to bring back out Underground, but I'm content that it's not going to happen at this point. So I'm looking for something to fill the void. Maybe this will be a little bit of that void filling type thing.
I can see that, because I was an Underground person, myself. Like, that was my joint. So. Yeah. This is helping fill that void for right now. And also, they have new upgrades for your cars. But you only get them by boosting up your reputation and going to the club dude and have him mess with your car and everything. So I dig it. But let me ask you something. Did you hear about the Stream Deck this week?
Oh, yeah.
That we talked about last week? Yeah.
Oh, of course.
So a lot of you probably already know. Last week they announced the Stream Deck. Valve's handheld PC. It was trending, has all the bells and whistles. It's amazing. Pre-orders went up the very next day. People went out, pre-ordered them. Then this week they announced, this a list of games you won't be able to play on this thing.
I saw it.
Oh, you saw the list.
You already know which game. You know what game I was planning to try to play on that junk mobile, even though you have to be hooked up to the internet, which defeats the purpose. That's Destiny 2.
Well, let me name the games that are on this list: Apex Legends, Black Desert Online, DayZ, Dead to Daylight, Destiny 2, Fall Guys, Hunt Showdown, Paladins, PUBG, Rainbow Six, and Smite. How do you feel about them giving us this information after they
they knew what they was doing. They knew what they was doing by not saying that at the conference, announcing that. Because definitely some of those are heavy. But the thing you gotta look at too, most of those are like multiplayer online type titles.
They are.
So being that this thing doesn't have like a cellular connection, I don't think obviously I think there's gonna be upset people. But I think the people that were really going to buy this necessarily weren't looking at those multiplayer online type of titles, because the idea for this thing is to be on the go. Obviously, if you're in a Wi-Fi area, you're good. But when you take out some of your like Destiny is I don't want to even say like a huge title. It is a huge title.
It is,
but I don't know if a Destiny player is looking to grab this to be on the go to play Destiny. At this point, I played on in xCloud on my phone versus paying a whole another $400 to get this thing. But I did also notice a lot of those games, which I wonder plays a part in it, are free to play. And I wonder if that's playing some type of role in that as well too, because that it's just mostly all those titles, with the exception, I think like maybe 2 of them in there now, you can download for free and play online. So I'm wondering if that also plays a role in why this is a thing.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why you cannot play those games. According to PC Gamer, let me read this. It says, pull this over. Some games aren't compatible with the Steam Deck because of how they are developed for consoles and how the deck is Linux-based. Valve didn't make it. Basically, they tried. They were able to get most stuff, some Windows stuff running, but those big multiplayer type ones, they just couldn't get it up and running in time. I don't say in time. They said they're going to try, like they're going to work at it, but like that's probably not something, if they can figure out how to get it fixed, that will, show up until later, you know what I'm saying, down the line.
I find that to be BS, because if that's the case, I get it. It's Linux, the OS or whatever is Linux based, but you can wipe it and put Windows on there.
Yes, you can.
So if I can put Windows on there, why are you stopping me from playing these games?
And like, I'm pretty sure when it comes out and people like us actually get the Steam Deck in their hands, they'll have Apex, Destiny, all them things running by within the first 24 hours of having it. You know what I mean? Wiping it, putting their own software on it, some type of way. Like they're gonna figure it out. They're definitely gonna figure it out. They did also add that you can upgrade the SSD. A little tricky to do that, but they did say you can upgrade the SSD. I saw as well. That came out like a day or two ago.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, so but that's gonna now. I don't think I would have a problem doing it. I disassemble stuff all the time, so I don't think that would scare me enough. But depending on how that thing is in there, because it's an M.2 or NVMe, depending on which way you want to say it.
Yeah.
If it's as simple as disassembling it, taking the old one out and putting a new one in, and then installing the OS on there, that's pretty clean. Because I would immediately at that point, like, if I get the Steam Deck, like I like the concept and all. If I were to get it, I'm probably gonna get the middle one. Like, I'm not pressed about all the extra, the case and the whatever screen
coating or the keyboard you can get.
I'm not too pressed for that. But if you tell me I can take out the one that's in there and put in another NVMe, I do that, because then I just go out and buy a 2 terabyte one of them things, because the cost on those things are starting to come down now. So, because I know I got my laptop, if it's going to use the same type of one. I got a terabyte one for like $100. Like, and yeah, I would just take theirs out, throw a 2 terabyte in there, and then you can start loading all these games. Loading all these games. I'm surprised they didn't say nothing about Call of Duty. Like, I feel like
I thought that was interesting too. I thought Warzone fit perfectly within those games they mentioned. I thought that was interesting. That wasn't on there.
So, like, and I would think Warzone or Cold War, I feel like one day probably be more resource driven in comparison to all the others that you can that wouldn't work on there. So that raises an eyebrow a little bit. Like,
it does.
There's definitely something else that's going is why you can't play those particular games on there, because Linux is pretty straightforward, pretty basic the way that the actual OS runs. But if you're telling me it's just the Steam's OS is not doing, then you're pretty much just telling me unload it and put Windows on there. Because if I can play everything inside of a Windows OS, there should be no cap or stop on me loading whatever I want to load on there for it.
Right. Yeah. I don't think these games are going to necessarily hurt it. There's some people that are going to be turned off that they can't play Apex, you know what I'm saying, Dead by Daylight, stuff like that on there. I think in the long run, though, it's not going to – I think it's going to hurt the sales. I just think it was – come on now, you should have put that out there first. for waiting to get everybody's money. But
I don't think those
games.
will work until they decide to do some type of mobile cellular for it. I don't know if I feel like they're not going to go down that road. But if you tell me like I can get on my phone xCloud, I can play any of those online multiplayer games and still be online. Like I don't know.
All right, well, let's move on from Valve and the Steam Deck, and let's talk just a little bit of sports. Specifically, PES, Pro Evolution Soccer, also known as Winning 11. Did you see the news about this?
Yes, and I don't play soccer games like that, but I do dabble in a little bit. Like I'm excited for what it is they're doing, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, yo, you guys. I mean, granted, you're making it free and renaming it. Cool. Like you guys are the competitor for FIFA, and I mean, PES does a fairly bang ass job when it comes time for that soccer title.
Yeah,
but
that's what I've heard.
But to switch it to a free version that no longer you will have to pay for on a yearly basis, like that is insane. It is insane.
Well, for those out there wondering what we're talking about, PES, known as Winning 11, also has been changed to eFootball. That is the official name of it going forward. And they want to make a note that it is not like a rebranding of it. No, it is being rebuilt from the ground up. They're no longer using the Fox engine that they used on the Kojima games. They're using Unreal Engine going forward with this, building it from the ground up. They said the reason for that was it's just honestly easier and more convenient all the way around. There's, people they can reach out to when they have questions, and it's just generally used by so many people in the industry, like the toolkits, everything. It was just a smarter move now. And able to do stuff with it, learn they can do stuff with it they couldn't do before and everything. So it's pretty amazing. And also, like Joe said, it's going to be free to play, which means no longer dropping $60, $70 on this title going forward. I like it overall. That's one thing we've said on here about sports games is that we don't need one every year.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just over now. Like all we need is an updated roster. You know what I mean? Put some tweaks in, maybe add something, and we're good. And I think this is a great way to do it. I'm not sure when it comes to monetizing on this, but I know they're going to have like a match pass and all that type of stuff you buy into, and they add stuff to it. I know they got all that figured out, but I don't play the sports game, so I'm not sure where, the monetization for it would come in with it going free to play, but I'm pretty sure they got it. You know what I'm saying? They got it down.
There's got to be something.
No, yeah, they had a whole thing. They had a 6-minute video talking about it and everything, but how do you feel about it going to free to play? Do you think it's going to work in the long run?
As long as they have something that they're going to make some money off this game somewhere, yes. But like going free to play is huge. Especially for a title that honestly, it's FIFA's only competitor. Mm-hmm. So if you put it in front of people, this game, as far as updating and everything, they've done a pretty good job over the years at keeping that game updated and playing well. My only fear is the going back and rebuilding it from ground up. Obviously, yes, like you said, using an engine that everybody is familiar with, but I hope that doesn't lose the feel of what PES was. Right. Because that's a whole, like, granted, it's free to play, so folks, you can't complain too much. You're going to be able to download this game, play for free. I didn't have a chance, and it's funny that they did this. They put out I don't think you want to call it a beta, but I guess a stress test.
Okay.
And I actually had it pop up on my console, and I think it was invite only. So when it first popped up, I was like, yo, there's a new soccer game coming. I was like, that's huge. But then I noticed it said Konami, and I was like, wait. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. So I didn't get a chance to actually jump in to see it because it was one of those time things where you had to jump in like at a specific time. And like for us, it was like during smack in the middle of the day. I was at work, so I didn't even get to jump in.
That's that stuff that Bandai Namco likes to do to us too.
Yeah, so like definitely the potential. One, going free to play, you're going to have people join in this game that have never played it before, which is always a good thing to do.
Yes.
More soccer, football fans, depending on how you actually call it in there.
Right.
So, that's gonna. I don't want to say it's not going to eat into FIFA sales. FIFA is going to outsell like it always does. But you're going to have a lot of those people that are intrigued that typically only play FIFA that are now going to be wanting to jump in and actually see what this is about. The free to play aspect, like I keep saying, like it's good because you can get that many more bodies in and actually be on this, but there's got to be some type of system within there. I don't know if they're going to start going loot boxes, like, and that's a scary road to go down because EA, obviously we're going to talk about EA later on, but EA is one of those companies that have done it and didn't necessarily get it right, and everybody hated it. But there are some, like when you think of like Overwatch and games like that where you get those loot boxes and things that come up, they figured out ways to make it work for you to invest and buy into them. Fortnite is good at it, so
yes,
I don't know if it's going to be. Maybe you're going to pay for like a season pass or something like that, since you're not paying necessarily for the actual game itself. You'll pay for these season passes, maybe the different soccer leagues, the different championships they do. The Olympics, of course, obviously comes around one every 4 years, so that would probably be one of those pass things that you would have to purchase in there.
Well, let me read this. It says, all right, it will be supported by a battle pass system called Match Pass, which will offer tiered rewards or the means of buying the loot outright. It also says it plans to sell certain game modes as optional DLC, which likely means to buy in for like the career suite and stuff like that. Premier PES Master League mode, stuff like that you could buy.
So you technically are still paying. So it sounds like actually okay. It sounds like they're doing what we talked about with like Call of Duty ages ago and what they should do, and allow you to buy the part of the game that you actually want. So obviously some of those online modes you may not necessarily play. Like obviously PS is not necessarily going to have like a story mode. I know they normally have like you can create a player sometimes and you build up and do that type of thing. But if you give someone the flexibility of buying the option that you want to get into, I'm not completely upset with that. Because I know there's people that will jump into like, say, for example, me, when I do play these sports games, so FIFA, Madden, I typically play like say for Madden and FIFA, Ultimate Team. Like I play that thing where you get to build like your dream team, and I typically dive in and do that. Obviously, you can earn free things, but most of the time you're spending money in these modes because you're trying to get like all the 99 rated players on one squad, and so you can actually play and run your teams on there. So if they're going to try to implement something like that, then you know what, I'm not mad at that at all, because that way you can still make sure you're getting your bread. You got to be able to have that money to develop the game even further. But I'm definitely intrigued to see where they go with this, because they got to have some type of money behind it to support it, especially going free to play now, since you're not going to have people going yearly to buy the title every single year. So,
well, I'm pretty sure they'll hit us with more of that information the closer it gets to releasing. But for those who are fans of this, let me show you the roadmap that they have laid out right here. So in early autumn, you get the new in-game engine rollout, local matches using renowned clubs, and cross-generation matches, so P5 to P4, Xbox One to the series. Autumn, you get online leagues, team building mode, cross-platform. That's always great. Match pass system, so that's what we just talked about. That's when that comes into play. And the winter, esports tournament, more cross-platform, adding in the mobiles, and mobile controller support. So, I mean, it looks like by the end of this year, maybe beginning of next year with the winter, all that stuff will finally be rolled out. So, I mean, I like it. I think it's a good move for them. If it turns out well, I think we'll start seeing other franchises probably start to follow suit.
try to do some things like that. And you got Messi on the front of it. It's like you gotta have your top player out there
to push it.
To promote. You gotta have them out there to do it.
Yeah. So also this week, we got a announcement from Ubisoft. with the Tom Clancy series franchise. They wrote out a new game to us called Tom Clancy's XDefiant. How you feel about this, Jokes?
Okay. Like, looking at Siege and how successful that is, I mean, I'm okay with it. You know, this is outside of the box of like a typical Tom Clancy type of game. So
Right.
you're definitely leaning on all of your franchises underneath here, being able to bring like your teams and all that type. So I think it's cool.
So basically, for anybody wondering what this game is, they're cherry picking like classes and outfits and stuff like that from their more popular franchises, mainly the Ghost Recon, Rainbow Six, and Division, and throwing them all into a colorful mosh pit and having them battle it out against each other, like, you know, Valorant or Apex or, you know, but this one's team based. They're describing it as, I want to make sure I get their words right, with fast paced firefights meets rock mosh pits, punk rock mosh pits.
Okay, we're going.
That's
chaos. That's chaos.
Well, that's how they're describing it. I watched the reveal. I'm in the middle, kind of like you. Like, I hate the punk rock mosh pit aesthetic of it. I hate all of that. The bright colors and everything, that's just not Tom Clancy. It feels so out of place to me. I think bringing the factions together as new classes is interesting, especially looking at, we're talking about XDefiant, Marcus, the new Tom Clancy game that got announced the other day. Yeah, I think it's interesting, like cherry picking, like you'll have the wolves in there. You have Echelon. You'll have, what were the other ones?
The wolves are in it.
The cleaners.
The
ghosts. The cleaners from the division. Oh, the outcasts and the cleaners from the division. So you have those 4 factions when you first get into it. Of course, they said more will be coming later down the line, but we're going to start with those. Yeah, I mean, like the shooting and the gadgets and all that kind of stuff, that looked cool to me when I was watching it, but I just hated the colorfulness of it. Like, it just feels so out of place.
It's not the Tom Clancy. Yeah. The one thing that gets me though is just like we were just talking about before, it's free to play. So
I'm gonna give it a shot.
It's
free to play. Like I'm not. I will give it a shot when it comes out. I'm really turned off by the colorfulness of it. Mix and matching those 4 classes, because they say you can't mix and match their gadgets, their weaponry, all that kind of stuff. So the different combinations, I think, be kind of fun and exciting to see. But
colors just throw you off.
It really throws me off. I hate it so much. And I'm trying. I want to try to separate that, but I can't, because that's all you're going to see when you're playing is all these colors. Like, but you thought it was Splinter Cell.
Well, what it was, so I really. Like, I knew about the game that they were talking about developing and doing all that or whatnot ever. When they first teased, you know, a new title, you know, you kind of just wanted to be something that we haven't had something before. So, but once you saw the backgrounds and like the wallpapers and stuff that they were using for it, was kind of like, oh, this is clearly not. I didn't know where they were going with it initially. I was like, this ain't Splinter Cell. This ain't Rainbow Six something. Like, I was like, oh, okay. But
no, they don't have any release date yet, Tony. But you can go sign up for the beta right now.
Marcus, why are you trying to do this to yourself right now, man?
He's trying to summon her like Beetlejuice because he's so pressed to get banned. That's why.
You're doing it wrong. You have to say Frosty 3 times in a row. I don't think just spelling it out, or if you spell it out, I think that's a cop out. Like, because you're not trying to actually say it 3 times. Oh, it worked!
Oh my gosh! Yeah, she summoned him. Oh, just like a Pokemon. Oh my goodness.
That's perfect. That was perfect.
Hey, I did not see that coming.
Not at all.
That just made my day.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. Did you sign up for the beta for it?
I did. I signed up for the beta, and he got his ass banned too.
Bandhandle.
Wham!
That's right. Wham!
Oh man.
Oh, that's
Actually, you
too
know
good.
what? Speaking of like a little quick tip, since you actually said Pokemon, which is funny, I did download Pokemon Unite. So the new game that just came out,
Yeah.
their free to play one. That show's actually that show's kind of interesting.
Okay.
Just like I ain't gonna speak, you know, I can rap Pokemon forever, but I ain't gonna. But it's a battle arena type game,
Mm-hmm.
and so imagine, so instead of like say you typically playing your normal Pokemon game, you get your Pokemon, you catch them, you level them up, they evolve, whatnot, ever.
Right.
Take pretty much like a lot of that aspect and just roll it into like a 7-8 minute battle. So you typically play, it was either 4v4 or 5v. Next, no, yeah, 5v5 on there. And as you battle, like the Pokemon will evolve during the match.
I
So
guess it
you
was
get
Tony.
stronger attacks, stronger abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, think of it almost in the mode that you play, like a capture the flag type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So each opponent will have like their goals that you'll go to. You have to pretty much take out your opponent and try to capture each of their zones as you go through. I would say it's a completely different Pokemon experience that they've never gone into before. It is free. It is a free to play game. This is the the thing for this episode. It is free to play.
Okay.
So it is something. Of course, it's only on Nintendo Switch. So it's on Nintendo Switch, and it's also going to be on mobile. But right now, I believe it's only the Switch that you can actually access it on. But I'm actually liking it. So
Mm-hmm.
I got something there.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead, keep going. Mm-hmm. Just gotta.
But oh no, we have not discussed anything Blizzard and Activision yet. And I was reading them that's yeah, they're in a little bit of a hurt again. But yeah, I actually, for another free to play title, I think it's pretty clean. I'm gonna play around with it a little bit more. Like I'm back on my Switch. I haven't been on my Switch in a while now, so this is now my Switch title once again.
Yeah, that'll get you back in. Pokemon, if anything. That'll do it to you every single time.
Yup.
All right, so it's time to talk about some EA Play. That happened today. EA finally showed us what they had rolling out for the rest of the year and a little bit beyond. We already knew some stuff were not going to be there. So that was getting out the way early. Great. Overall, did you have a chance to watch it first and foremost?
I actually watched the whole thing. I was actually working, had this play in front of me the whole time.
Yes. Well, overall impression.
Honestly, that could have been an email. Like, granted, we got some good. There was. We'll work up to it, but the big reveal at the end, I think, is what really we all knew it was coming. Like, it'd been teased, it'd been leaked. Like, EA, you failed at trying to keep it under wraps. I'll be honest with you. The most entertaining part about that presentation was the fact that Austin Creed, aka Xavier Woods, was hosting it. I had no idea he was actually going to be hosting it. That was probably, now don't get me wrong, a couple of games look interesting. I don't really care about The Sims, so when they led with The Sims, I was kind of like, whatever. Not necessarily my cup of tea. But the I forget the name, the Tim Burton-esque
Lost
type,
in Random.
Lost in Random. That was the one I think that I'm like, I'm intrigued for.
Yeah. Honestly, overall, I enjoyed it. I thought Xavier Woods did a good job hosting it. I liked the presentation of, the big, massive screens and, how they were transitioning between games and everything. I really enjoyed it. When the show actually started, they opened up with a Codemasters highlight, welcoming them to the EA family, and showed off their new game they're working on, Grid Legends. Look, the game looks good. I am not sold on the live action storytelling thing. It usually does not work. I mean, they're trying something new, so yay. You know what I mean? And they're using Mandalorian technology to shoot the story and everything. Hey, great. You know what I mean? Like, I just know this They've tried it with Need for Speed. You know what I'm saying? They've it usually doesn't work. Yes, I would like to see it work out. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have faith in it working out. But whatever. Then they went into Apex Legends. Showcased the trailer for Emergence, which looked amazing. We got a little bit of breakdown for the new character coming, Seer. Not
Seer
sure if
looks.
You messing with him?
Seer. When they first showed him, I almost thought for a second like it was a whole different game. Like the way, like even though his was only like a CG trailer more or less than anything else, it almost seemed like he had like his own, like obviously it's a story mode, but it seemed like he had his own like game for it. But
all their characters, their reveal trailers are just like that.
That on there, but like seeing it, they kind of show him from a kid and kind of growing up through the whole entire thing for it. That was clean. And then when they finally unveiled him like in his actual form of what he is, I don't play Apex. My man may have me playing Apex.
No, Apex is clean. Apex is clean. But yeah, they showed off. We got to see one of his finishers. They talked about his abilities and skills, and they're gonna do like a gameplay kind of reveal from him in the near future, so people can actually see it being done on the field. And they also did a route for people that are fans of the arena mode that they recently added. Their ranked arena joints are coming. So people who like to play ranked, that's coming. I'm pretty sure that made a lot of people happy. Lost in Random was the one you were just talking about.
Yes. When
we saw this a little whiles back, I don't know, I was like, yeah, cool. Not really sure. This trailer might have me sold on it. Like displaying the dice, and you can pick up these cards and switch out what your dice can do and everything. Like that whole little element had me really like, okay. And it's about the two sisters trying to, one sister trying to save the other one, get it back. I dig the story. But yeah, we got a deeper look at that, and that actually dropped September 10th.
Yep.
So that's actually not too far away. That one might be on my radar. I do agree with you on that, Jokes.
Another September title, by the way. There's been a couple games that have moved out of September, but it's like as quick as they moved out, more games are moving into September again.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that's going to stay, though. I'm not saying Lost in Random is going to stay, but this still might. We need to sit down and actually look at September's rollout and see what it is. We do know it's jam-packed. Then we went into one of your favorites, Knockout City. How'd you feel about the stuff they're adding with season 2 coming?
Pretty clean. Like the whole Hollywood movies type thing. I think that can be explored in a whole ton of different ways. So, I mean, just within the game itself, adding like the soda ball or whatnot ever to kind of blind your opponent or whatever. I thought that was pretty clean. If Knockout City ever decided that it was going to try to do some of those crossover type things, I think movies is a good place to go because there's just so many movies, so many different genres and things that you could touch to intertwine in there. Not going to mention that's going to make tons of outfits and different things that folks going to go in that store and buy. So Knockout,
was that one stage we were watching that was changing constantly?
It was just changing constantly. Kind of like that whole Hollywood type thing for it. But Knockout City, honestly, it was a slick. No one really knew it was coming. But when it came and everyone was able to download it and start playing it, I got hooked. Like I think I'm in like the 40s now or something. I haven't touched it in a while now. Hey, if you think that was bad, I started playing with a couple people. Like they were in hundreds. They were like 100 and something. I was just like, they just determined to make that their only game to play for levels. But I like the new additions. If you haven't played Knockout City, like it's another free to play game. I would highly advise giving it a shot because it's pretty fun. If you don't know exactly what it is, it's dodgeball. Like extreme dodgeball is the best way that I can describe it. When we actually got in and played it one night on Game Stream, you, me, and Noah.
Yeah.
Once we started getting the hang of like the combo moves and the team ups and all that type of stuff, it's clean.
Yeah. Learn how to throw curves and arcs and all that kind of stuff. Oh, it is. So, I'm with you. If you have not played Knockout City, treat yourself and jump into it and give it a try at least. Like we said, it's free. Just give it a shot. It is
What's
a
your level,
lot of
Marcus?
fun.
Or have you even played it, Marcus?
Marcus ain't play it, please.
Level 2.
All right, so after Knockout City, we moved on to Battlefield 2042. One thing I did learn about this that was cool, there's going to be 3 experiences, quote unquote, as they described it in Battlefield 2042. We've been seeing the all-out war one that they've been showing up to now. This one, they introduced a new one to us, which is Portals. That will be available at launch. The best way to describe this thing is you get to pull weapons, soldiers, vehicles, maps from 2042, Bad Company. What were the other 2 jokes? It was Bad Company. It was like 2 other previous Battlefields they released.
Was it 1? I think 1 it was a couple of the older war style ones that you got. They wanted to have a mix of like older tech, older weapons and all that to mix it in with the newer tech and everything for it. Yeah. So,
and basically, you take all this stuff and pretty much make your own game modes.
Yeah.
And run rampant. Like, they brought back classic maps from the past that people really love. Like, you pick your map and you could, they were showing it off. You could do, they had 4 soldiers from 2042 versus an army of World War I soldiers. And like, they had their World War I weapons. They had the 2042 weapons. It was looking kind of Ghost Recon-ish when it first started. Like, taking out people all. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. Then they just got swarmed on. Thank you. It's Bad Company 2, 1964, 3, 2042. Right. At least starting off, of course, as it probably grows, they'll pull in from different games.
Other ones from.
Yeah. But I think that's crazy in a good way.
It's just like, I don't buy Battlefield, and I'm scared to buy it. It's looking so good. Like
they had 100 drones against 1 tank.
Okay, I was like, that was a little OC. But like, I typically, for me, I thrive in playing online multiplayer games like, the Call of Duties, the battle. I don't play Battlefield like that. It's just that missing piece of not having the campaign is what always missing that, and it's a full price game. Like, that's the part that's just dragging me so much. And I'm
wondering with this Portals though. Like, right, when we were just talking about they had the 4 soldiers going against the army. Was the army real people just standing around getting shot like that? Or were they? I think so. Or were they bots?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
You see what I'm saying? With all the different ways you're supposed to be able to create this new mode and everything. Like,
I feel like you probably do it both ways.
If I feel like you should put bots in there, then you might get $70 out of me. Because I can just create my own Battlefield experience and just play against bots with my friends. Like,
oh, you gonna get on here and play some multiplayer? You gonna get in here and get good? You gonna get good?
No, I prefer Battlefield to COD any day.
At least until we start playing some of these PC folks when we do crossplay, because modding and I know that'll be a thing, but like right now, Battlefield 2042 it's speaking to me. Like it is speaking to me. What up, Perp? It's speaking to me.
Yeah.
And it's like you're gonna hate when I say this. I want to buy a physical version of this because I feel like I want to just trade.
Why?
I want to just sell.
Oh, that's the reason why. Okay.
Because for whatever reason, I don't meld well with Battlefield. Like when I bought my my 1S, I got the Battlefield edition, so I got Battlefield 1 with it.
Okay.
I played it for like 4 hours and then never went back to it. And then EA started adding everything into EA Play, and it's like I'm still so scared right now to buy this junk. And then like day one, they're gonna be like, "Oh, by the way, this is gonna be a part of Game Pass." So that's why I'm trying to hold off on it because somehow it's gonna end up in Game Pass. But I don't know if this is gonna be one of those things where it's not gonna be for like 6 months or so. But I don't know. They may get that $70. At least the base game.
They still have one other experience to announce that they said they will a little later, which is Hazard Zones. I think they call it. I'm pretty sure that's gonna have to do with like the big tornado we saw in the CG trailer and everything like that. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. But Portal sounds absolutely crazy. I think that might go crazy on Twitch and other streaming platforms like that. That's gonna go crazy definitely. On there. Yeah, people are gonna come up with some interesting game modes and concepts for that. And last but not least, with ePlay 2021, they left us with a little treat, which was Dead Space. We got a teaser trailer for it. But like you said, Jokes, leaks. We already knew it was coming type of deal. But still, it's out. The public now sees it for the most part. How do you feel?
I'm okay. Now, I don't know if I'm the only one in the room, but I haven't played not a damn one of the Dead Space games.
I've actually played one and you haven't? I have played Dead Space.
Any of the Dead Space games.
Pretty sure I beat the first one.
So I'm probably going to go ahead and go on EA Play since we have Game Pass Ultimate. I believe they're in there, so I may go ahead and try to play through them. But
I think they are.
I'm happy that they're bringing back a franchise that a lot of people love. Mm-hmm. EA has a pocket of games that people want to go back and experience again, and I think this is actually a good way to possibly start that trend. Mm-hmm. And Dead Space could be that test to see how well people react to it. Now, it's a remake.
Whatever they've already done it with Resident Evil 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those old classics. Yeah,
the remake thing has been going very well. Being able to bring in some of these games from the older consoles, upgrade them, bring them into the newer technology, being able to experience the game in ways that you couldn't necessarily do like on an Xbox 360, but bringing it up to a Series X level, a PS5 level, there's definitely going to be some plus sides to it. So I'm probably going to go ahead and at least jump into one of the Dead Space just to kind of get a feel for what it actually is.
Yeah.
But obviously, I don't know. Like when I first watched the trailer, like I immediately thought you were out. Like I didn't think you were going to want to play this.
Right. I don't do the horror thing. I can't remember why I played it back in the day when it came out. I think I got it from like GameFly, and it was
GameFly.
Yeah, it was like maybe it was just popular. People were talking about it. It was like, well, let me give it a shot. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's horror, but after like the first hour, I was not scared of this game whatsoever. No, it was because we've grown up playing video games. My eyes are video game trained. I can look at something and say, that's out of place. Something's obviously going to jump out of that. You know what I mean? It was the way they just had built the game back then. I could see the jump scares coming from a mile away.
Hey, but the graphics are really good now. So that little gray box on the wall, we're clearly like that ain't there no more.
This is going to be a little different. I still might get it and try it, honestly, because the first one was really good.
Yeah, gotcha.
but I probably will end up getting it. I probably will.
I like what they show, even though it was just a teaser. The moment, like I kind of figured, I thought you were going to be out like with that whole creature, and then the little creepy. That was a creepy ass twinkle little star that they were playing in the background of the show. I'm like, why are we making like these little child nursery rhymes so creepy? Like all that was missing all it was missing was like someone like a creature singing and like doing the little head nod while singing it at the same.
And look, when I see that creature in the hallway, I was like, "Hey, Dead Space, stop playing with me, Joe. Stop playing with me." Then I see the light up. I was like, "Dead Space is back. I'm probably gonna get it. I have a feeling I am." But no.
So definitely,
I know that made a lot of people happy.
Definitely eager again. I hope there's some type of, I don't know if they'll do like is it actually have like multiplayer aspect, or this is just more? Was it always like a single player campaign type thing?
I'm saying the truth. I remember the single player campaign. I can't remember if it was a multiplayer component added to it. Yeah, because if it was something I was not paying attention to.
Right, it wasn't into.
Yeah, I was there for the story. But overall, I thought it was good. I mean, you necessarily thought, they could phone home with it for the most part.
Yeah, like everything looked like. Don't get me wrong, the stuff they presented looked good. Like I thought they had decent presentation or whatnot ever. I don't know what like at this point with EA. Like obviously I'm happy they kind of left out the sports. Like you don't need to talk about Madden. You don't really need to go deep into it. With FIFA, I know has its upgrades and additions to it, but I'm happy they didn't try to lean heavy in that direction for EA Play, because if they'd have done that, I think that would have just backed them into the corner. I think everybody knows what's expected of Madden. You know what's expected of FIFA. NBA Live.
No. Keep it dead. Keep it buried.
We thought they were going to do that.
It tried to come out some years back, and we shoved it right back down in that hole because it was some trash. Stay down there where you belong.
But otherwise, I'm happy with what EA has under wraps. Not everything is for me. Like I mean, that's I'm happy they companies always come with something that everyone's going to be able to jump into.
Something for everybody.
So overall, what they had, I was good with. I think these guys they should have just did it at E3. Like they could have did all this at E3. Probably got a little more, especially Dead Space. If they did drop Dead Space at E3 before all the leaks and stuff started coming out, like we've known about this Dead Space remake now at least a few months. I think now, like whoever spilled the beans there, shame on you. This is why I hate the internet now. This is why I hate the internet nowadays, because you can't keep nothing under wraps for so long. That's one of the things I miss about wrestling and not having the internet. Like when someone surprisingly shows up, they surprisingly show up. And there's no rumors. There's no dirt sheets. There's no nothing. It was just.
But there's something fun in that. I feel like
speculation is always good, but it's like when you can just have that genuine. Oh yeah, guys, one more thing that we're going to show you that nobody was expecting, and then wham.
Yeah, it would have hit harder for us, if it just came out of nowhere. But it is what it is. It's the business that we're in. But let's wrap it up and get out of here for the evening, sir. So if you could, let's put that link tree up there for everybody so they can go and follow.
I don't want to do my job.
You don't want to do your job?
I don't want to do my job today. I just want to go home.
Look, there is a link to everybody. Click on that, and you can join with a lot of things we have popping on out here in the multiverse. You can join with wrestling chat in there. The link is right there. You can join in anime chat. Is anything coming up wrestling wise that people should know about? Like
the big event. So all I know is Otakon weekend. Like that weekend is going to be super busy. So I just found out SummerSlam is actually going to be shown in movie theaters.
I saw you post that.
And I'm damn sure enough going to be driving out of DC and going to see SummerSlam in the theater. But I will say for Wrestling World right now, you guys need to keep an eye out, because with some of these rumors that are flying left and right, especially in the AEW lane. We're talking Daniel Bryan possibly has actually signed a contract and is going to show up at AEW, and also that CM Punk has apparently been in talks with AEW. I'm taking all this with a grain of salt, a big grain of salt, but once again, speculation. Like this is same thing I was just saying. If this could just happen without us knowing, it would be such a great thing. But yeah, there's going to be some discussions to be held at some point.
Yeah. So. Not anime, but wrestling chat is where you want to be to stay up with that. Jokes will be hitting you with all that information in there and setting up some discussions for them to have. Anime chat, the link is there. We can join that. We have some things we're looking at doing in the future. Isn't that right, Marcus? So that's going to be a good time. Also, Movie Club. The link is in there. Join the Movie Club if you have not already joined it. You see he's rocking the shirt right there. This Sunday at 8:30 p.m., we will be having our first Movie Club live discussion in the Movie Club chat, discussing Black Widow. Y'all know what that means. We're talking cinematography, music, setting, acting, the whole 9 yards. And for our Patreon members, 30 minutes of that will be just for you all that we will shoot beforehand before we go live. But once we wrap it all up, Jokes will put it up on Patreon for all you all to see and have that extra 30 minutes just for you people because we love you so much. Also, like Joe said, in a couple of weeks, you'll be able to see us at Otakon. If you're going to be there, say hi. Let's take some pictures. Let's catch up. It's been a while since we've seen each other. And we do have press passes too for that. So
yeah, hopefully these interviews, like I know we've sent the one list in, so they have officially said that everyone's been announced. So we're good. So hopefully we'll be able to bring you some fire interviews out of Otakon.
Hopefully, we're looking forward to it. And also, 2 weeks after that, we'll be at AwesomeCon.
AwesomeCon.
We'll be there doing our Being Comfortable Being a Geek panel. That's what day is that? Is that Saturday, Joe?
Saturday. It's a Saturday. The clock. I got to pull the time. I believe that was 3 something, if I remember right. I'm actually going to create an event for that. Probably over the next few days, and so people can know the room, time, and all that for it, and just kind of send out some invites. So be on the lookout for an event. I'm gonna create that so everyone will know, because supposedly the room that we're in is one of the big rooms. So this could, I looked at the map of where it's at, so there's going to be some serious discussions to have there. But this could be, I love doing this panel, just sheerly people being comfortable, bringing out, expressing their opinions, expressing their feelings. This will probably be the biggest stage that we will actually present this on, and that excites me to a degree like none other.
Yeah. I didn't know it was in one of the big rooms, but whatever. I'm not scared. Let's do it.
Oh, I'm not scared. I'm excited.
It's gonna be a great time. So if you're there, please come out, take part in that conversation. It's always a great conversation. Next week, as far as right now, we will be back to our regular scheduled days, which is Tuesday for weekly, Thursday for cutscenes. If anything changes, of course, we will update everybody and let them know. So before I get out of here, or should I say we get out of here, I got to do my job, which is shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, and Tyrone Carson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it. Also, if you're not already a member of Patreon, y'all know what to do. Head over there, sign up. You know what I'm saying? We have exclusive stuff over there just for y'all, and stuff in the works that are coming to Patreon just for you people. So it's a place you want to be. So until then, we will talk to you all later. I got to get back to Grand Theft, and he has to get on some Call of Duty on the PS5.
Yeah, buddy.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're out. Deuces.